In this lifetime, you don't have to prove anything to anybody except yourself. And after everything you've been through, if that hasn't happened by now, it never will. Success isn't about applause, youth, or chasing approval. It's about endurance, it's about purpose, and it's about showing up long after most people think the story is over. What if aging didn't mean slowing down, but sharpening up? What if your 80s and 90s were your most powerful chapters? Today, we're diving deep into the lives of Black legends who are still thriving well past the age most people quietly disappear. These are men and women who survived hardship, rejection, prison, war, illness, and loss, yet continue to move with clarity, strength, and intention. From unexpected daily routines to life-changing late starts, their stories will challenge everything you think you know about aging. You'll be shocked by who became a beekeeper at 81, who's still working at 94, and how purpose keeps them sharp. So stay with us, hit like if you believe it's never too late, and let's start with the voice that literally sounds like God himself.
Morgan Freeman, proof that time makes legends stronger. 1. Morgan Freeman. Most people recognize the voice before the face, deep, calm, and unmistakable. But what many don't realize is that Morgan Freeman didn't become a true Hollywood star until his 50s. Before roles like Driving Miss Daisy and The Shawshank Redemption, he served in the U.S. Air Force as a radar technician, dreaming of flying planes while fixing them instead. Fame never changed him. Morgan lives quietly on a ranch in Mississippi, gardening, caring for animals, and even turning part of his land into a bee sanctuary. At 81, he became a beekeeper to help save declining bee populations. In 2008, a serious car accident left him with permanent nerve damage and fibromyalgia, which is why he often wears a black compression glove. Still, he never stopped working. At 65, he learned to fly planes. He co-owns a blues club, supports hurricane relief and education charities, and continues narrating films and documentaries. At 88 years old, Morgan Freeman is still going strong.
Bill Cosby, a brilliant mind behind a complicated legacy. 2. Bill Cosby. For decades, Bill Cosby was one of the most influential figures in American comedy and television. Long before The Cosby Show, he built his career from stand-up comedy, slowly working his way into mainstream media. What many people don't know is that while performing, Cosby was also deeply committed to education. He earned a PhD in education, and his doctoral dissertation focused on how his animated series Fat Albert could be used as a teaching tool for children. Beyond comedy, Cosby was a passionate jazz musician, playing drums and bass and hosting the Playboy Jazz Festival for years. He and his wife also collected more than 300 pieces of African-American art, some of which were displayed at the Smithsonian, reflecting his strong interest in preserving Black culture and history. Later in life, his legacy became overshadowed by legal issues and public controversy. Convicted in 2018 and released in 2021 due to a rights violation, Cosby withdrew from public life. Now legally blind, he lives quietly with his family. As of 2025, at 87 years old, he remains a complex and controversial figure in American history.
Billy D. Williams. Style, survival, and creative discipline. 3. Billy D. Williams. Billy D. Williams has always carried himself with effortless confidence and smooth charm. But behind that image is a life shaped by deep creativity and resilience. Born in Harlem in 1937, he was surrounded by art from a young age. His mother was an opera singer, and by age 7, he had already appeared on Broadway. Long before Hollywood fame, Billy D. was a serious visual artist, earning a painting scholarship and winning major art awards in the 1950s. Acting initially helped him afford art supplies, but it soon became his calling. He trained at the Harlem Actors Workshop and explored unconventional methods, including LSD in the 1960s, which he said helped him better understand himself. His memoir reveals periods of depression and vulnerability, including moments when he questioned his future after professional setbacks. Despite personal struggles, Billy D built a long-lasting career across film, television, and art. He stayed physically and mentally sharp through creative discipline rather than fitness trends. At 88, his longevity reflects balance, self-awareness, and lifelong artistic curiosity.
Garrett Morris, staying sharp by never standing still. 4. Garrett Morris. Garrett Morris is best known as one of the original cast members of Saturday Night Live, but his story runs far deeper than sketch comedy. Born in 1937, he first established himself in New York as a serious actor, singer, and playwright. He performed in major musicals like Showboat and Porgy and Bess, and created politically conscious theater long before mainstream recognition. When Morris joined SNL, he became part of the groundbreaking Not Ready for Primetime Players, earning praise for his sharp humor and memorable Weekend Update appearances. After leaving the show, he never slowed down. He continued acting in series like The Jeffersons and Martin, while also doing voice work for animation and video games. Morris doesn't promote flashy fitness routines. Instead, his health comes from staying active through work, memorizing lines, performing, recording voiceovers, and engaging with fans. That constant mental and physical engagement has kept him alert, expressive, and energetic. At 88 years old, Garrett Morris proves that staying involved is one of the best ways to stay alive.
5. Hal Williams. Hal Williams is one of those actors whose face feels instantly familiar, even if you can't always place the name. Born in December 1938 in Columbus, Ohio, his path to success was steady rather than flashy. Before television fame, he spent years in stage productions, learning discipline, timing, and control, skills that would define his career. That theatrical foundation shaped his calm, centered presence on screen. Most viewers remember him as Officer Nelson on 227, or from shows like Silver Spoons, where his delivery felt relaxed yet precise. There's a reason for that. Stage acting demands strong posture, breath control, and endurance, habits that quietly double as long-term physical training. Hal never chased fitness trends or celebrity workout plans. Instead, he stayed consistent. Long shooting days, standing for hours, hitting marks, and maintaining focus created a natural rhythm that kept him fit. Friends say he's always lived a balanced life, enough rest, moderate eating, and steady work. That quiet discipline shows both on-screen and off. At 86, Hal Williams proves that consistency, not intensity, is what truly lasts.
Felicia Rashad, Grace, Purpose in Lifelong Growth. 6. Felicia Rashad. Felicia Rashad has always been more than a beloved television icon. While many remember her as Claire Huxtable, her impact reaches far beyond the screen. At 76, she continues to thrive through leadership, creativity, and balance. In 2021, she took on a major role as Dean of Howard University's College of Fine Arts, guiding and mentoring young Black artists until 2024. That responsibility required stamina, structure, and clarity, qualities she's cultivated for decades. One lesser-known detail is her long-term commitment to health. She has followed a vegetarian lifestyle since the early 1990s, a choice she credits with helping her maintain energy and focus. Her career milestones are historic. She became the first Black actress to win a Tony Award for Best Actress in a Play, and she's won it twice. Beyond acting, Rashad directs stage productions and values meditation, nature, and creative reflection. These habits help her stay grounded and mentally sharp. Her life shows that longevity isn't just physical, it's deeply connected to purpose and meaningful contribution.
Charles S. Dutton, From Prison Walls to Purposeful Strength. 7. Charles S. Dutton. Charles S. Dutton's life is a powerful example of transformation. Born in Baltimore in 1951, he dropped out of school early and spent years in prison for serious crimes. Instead of giving up, he chose to change. While incarcerated, Dutton asked to form a drama group, discovering a passion that reshaped his future. After his release, he earned a degree from Towson State and later a master's from Yale School of Drama. That hard-earned discipline is visible in every role he plays, from Rudy to Rock. Few people know he also learned to play the trumpet for his Broadway debut in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, mastering it in just weeks. Today, Dutton owns a small farm in Maryland, where he stays active shoveling manure, caring for animals, and growing food. He donates produce to churches and shelters, turning daily labor into service. His strength comes from movement, humility, and purpose. Proof that it's never too late to rebuild a life with meaning.
Fred Williamson, Strength, Strategy, and Staying in Motion. 8. Fred Williamson. Fred Williamson's life has always balanced power and intelligence. Born in Gary, Indiana in 1938, he earned a degree in architecture from Northwestern University before ever stepping onto a professional football field. That sharp, strategic mindset stayed with him throughout his career. In the NFL, he played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Oakland Raiders, and Kansas City Chiefs, becoming a 3-time AFL All-Star and winning a championship in 1966. After football, Fred didn't slow down. He shifted direction. He founded his own production company, Po' Boy Productions, giving himself creative control at a time when few black actors had it. He became a major figure in blaxploitation cinema, starring in films like Black Caesar and The Legend of Nigger Charlie, roles that emphasized strength and resistance. Fred never relied on flashy gym routines. His fitness came from constant movement, working on sets, traveling, directing, and producing. Even now, at 87, he remains physically sharp by staying active in real, everyday ways. His longevity comes from respecting his body and staying mentally engaged. J.A. Preston, Authority Built on Life Experience. 9. J.A. Preston. J.A. Preston didn't rush into fame. Born in Washington, D.C. in 1932, he chose acting later than most, committing to it fully in his mid-30s after completing his education. That extra life experience became his greatest strength. When he appeared on screen, he carried a natural authority that couldn't be taught. Audiences remember him as judges, generals, and officials in films like A Few Good Men and Air Force One, as well as television roles on Hill Street Blues, Law and Order, Seinfeld, and Martin. These characters required posture, control, and calm confidence, qualities Preston embodied naturally. He wasn't known for intense fitness routines or public workouts. Instead, his health came from discipline. Memorizing lines, maintaining strong posture, and delivering controlled performances kept his mind sharp and body steady. Acting itself became his daily exercise. After stepping away from the spotlight in the mid-2000s, Preston lived quietly, grounded in routine and mental clarity. His story proves that maturity and patience can be powerful tools for long-term success.
Robert Hooks, Building Strength Through Community and Art. 10. Robert Hooks. Robert Hooks' legacy extends far beyond the roles he played on stage and screen. Born in 1937, he began acting as a child and worked on sharecropper farms with his family, learning discipline and resilience early in life. His Broadway success, including performances in A Raisin in the Sun, gave him credibility, but he wanted more than personal success. In the late 1960s, Hooks co-founded the Negro Ensemble Company in New York and later the D.C. Black Repertory Company. These institutions became safe spaces for black artists during the civil rights era. He also launched the Inner Voices Prison Arts Program in 1971, helping incarcerated men find purpose through performance. One participant even received a presidential commutation. Hooks stayed physically active through constant involvement, producing plays, organizing rehearsals, traveling, and speaking publicly. Producing isn't a desk job, it requires movement, leadership, and stamina. His fitness came from service, creativity, and responsibility. Robert Hooks shows that staying active isn't always about exercise, it's about building something bigger than yourself.
So, who's your favorite? These men and women aren't just celebrities. They're living proof that life doesn't end at a certain age, and purpose doesn't expire. They didn't stay strong because they chased youth. They stayed strong because they kept moving, kept creating, kept believing their story still mattered. Through prison, illness, war, rejection, and loss, they chose purpose over pity and consistency over comfort. The lesson is simple but powerful. Longevity isn't luck, it's intention. It's staying curious, it's serving something bigger than yourself, and it's refusing to disappear just because the world expects you to slow down. While they're still here, let's give these legends their flowers. Learn from them, celebrate them, and apply their wisdom to your own life, no matter your age or situation. Drop your favorite name in the comments. Hit like if these stories inspired you. Subscribe for more real history, real lives, and real life superpowers.